Take the L podcast, where we focus on this is going to be ridiculous. I can tell already.
I'm here for
Where
it.
we focus on lessons over losses and taking the lesson from bad situations versus choosing the loss. And you are my first guest.
I'm honored.
You should be. No, I'm kidding. I really wanted you to be my first guest because I have been thinking about this podcast for like 5 years. And every time I do something, the way you come in my neck to make sure that I actually do it is actually a joke. So it's very intentional, the first few people I am going to like have on this episode. And you have been one of the people who made sure like I have stuck to whatever I said I was going to do and support me whether I want to do it or not. So trust, when I say you should be honored, it is very intentional. So I'm talking, but we have not even introduced you yet.
Why am I getting teary-eyed?
I don't know. I'm looking at you like, are you about to cry?
I'm not.
Yes,
Okay.
you are. Take a deep breath. Let's ground ourselves. Okay. Because please don't cry, because I cannot. This is literally the first episode. I can't be crying on every single.
Okay.
Okay. Hold it. All right. So, Denequa, D-Will, lit Brooklyn candles. Some of the best candles in the motherfucking world.
Period.
Because who featured you? Beyonce. Okay. The Queen Bee.
Hello, she's making an appearance
I
also.
didn't even put two and two together. This was not even planned. This is just what was in my reach. It was cold outside. It's winter.
I love this for us.
You've been featured on so much. And this is what? How long has Lit Brooklyn?
We just celebrated 7 years earlier this month.
Yeah. And we've been friends for 5.
Mm-hmm.
So as we do this podcast, bear with us because we're legit friends.
Yes.
So I think that's going to be the hardest part. Try to interview you because I know things already, and asking you questions in the integrity of trying to get it out of you when I want to be like, but bitch, I know this.
Right. Facts.
So we're going to have openers, but I want you to introduce yourself in a way that feels authentic to you.
Okay. So, my name is Denequa Williams Clarke.
Okay, Kanisha.
I am a proud Brooklyn native. I am a wife, a daughter, a friend, a confidant. But I think most of all, what I am is myself.
I'm like, now you're making me teary-eyed. Look at you talking about all this, but go ahead.
I am myself, and I think that that's not an easy feat for a lot of people to say that they are, especially in a world that can be so jaded at times. I think that sums up a bit of who I am. I am a lover at heart. I went to school. I majored in Africana Studies. I'm an advocate for Black everything. I love being a Black woman. I love defending Black women and men. I'm a dog mom.
You really are.
And a dog grandmom.
You really are. Wow. You really are. I forgot about the grandma part.
I'm a business owner. I think that sums it up. But I feel like we'll get more.
I'm glad I asked you to do that. I'm glad I didn't make your bio because I don't think I would have ever done it as good as you have.
Thank you.
You did it well. So I have 2 openers.
Okay.
Actually 3. I'm going to do the full 3 with you.
Let's go for it.
If you had, I think I know the answer, but if you had to rap any song, word for word, $1 million, what song are you picking and why is it Jay-Z?
The Takeover, the breaks. Oh, come on, it's Takeover.
Okay.
Blueprint is my favorite Jay-Z album. Or Already Home also on Blueprint 3 with him and Kid Cudi. Why? Because it just gives me what I need whenever I'm feeling down.
I knew Takeover was one of them, but I didn't know the other one.
It reminds me that I am that bitch on days when you don't really feel too hot. And it's just like, I mean, she knew it was going to be Jay-Z. But Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers just because this man he knew who he was going to be before he was even who he is. And I think that that's something that we all should embody, where we're speaking affirmations over our lives and not being afraid of like what our future could look like when you take a chance or you take a bet on yourself. So it would be those 2 songs.
I literally think I've never heard anybody mention Jay-Z like that. Like, not the Manifestation King.
He is.
No, but it's real.
Bro, like everything he says is just like, he has the balls to do it on some G shit. And I just feel like that just is, it takes so much strength. Like he wasn't he didn't make his environment make him, and the fact that you can see past what all you see, like, that is motivation in itself. And I think that he's forever goated. Like,
I love that you said that he didn't let his environment make him, because that's the point of this. Like, this is literally the premise of this podcast. Like, I've seen so many people fall victim to their circumstance and realize, like, there's something that's bigger out there for this.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so perfect segue.
Yay.
So next question. 2 have to go.
Okay.
2. Neo, Usher, D'Angelo, Miguel, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Frank Ocean. 2 of them have to go. All of their work, everything they've ever written, all
Trey
of it.
Songz.
Damn. Trey, we gotta get you out
And
of here now.
damn.
You know, Trey.
It's a between Miguel and Neo.
And Neo, who wrote for Beyonce,
Right,
Giselle Knowles Carter.
Miguel gotta go.
Oh,
Miguel and Trey.
So I'm gonna say this. I probably will only say this on this episode because I don't need everybody coming for me every single episode I do. But my 2 are gonna be D'Angelo and Frank Ocean. Get them the fuck out of here.
That's fair.
See, people get mad at me because they're like, D'Angelo, Brown Sugar,
That's
Devil's
fair.
Pie, whatever the fuck he did. Sorry, y'all. I don't be waking up like, damn, let me put on D'Angelo album. Like,
you know what? You make a point. So I'm gonna say D'Angelo too, and I'm gonna bring back Miguel.
Thank you, Miguel gave.
Yeah, let's get D'Angelo out of here. I agree.
So, How Many Drinks is a problematic ass song in
Very much
2022.
so.
That shit is still fire.
That shit hit though.
Wow, that shit slaps. Okay, like there's certain people that's like, we're not playing Robert Sylvester Kelly. Nobody's playing that.
He's done.
But damn, How Many Drinks really slaps. I will honestly say I choose what's problematic at this point. Yeah. Trey Songz do gotta go though.
He has to go.
I love Trey Songz, but he's out here openly just wilding the fuck out.
I agree.
So, all right, last question. This one's a little harder, so if you need to pause and we can do it at the end, let me know because I want to get into the questions.
Go for it.
If you had to pick the top 3 R&B albums of your lifetime from the day you were born,
what is happening right now? We're gonna answer that question at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Damn,
right.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say too, I also ask this on every single first date. The 2 gotta go and the top 3
Do
albums.
they answer right away or do they have to think about it?
Yeah, they answer right away.
Okay.
Where they gonna go?
I mean, like, is it okay, all right, bet.
I don't give them time because I'm giving you time because I give you 3 questions.
Okay.
But if I'm just giving you that one question, because I usually lead with that, I'm only asking you that. Like, you got time.
Okay. At the end of this,
There's also a right answer. One of the things are a right answer in there. Just an FYI.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're here. We talked about this. Lit Brooklyn, owner, creator, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, honestly.
Period.
Yo, I want you to talk about how Lit Brooklyn started and like how you even came up with the idea.
So I've always been a lover of candles. And it's funny because I grew up in a Caribbean household where we ain't lighting no candles. They're actually for decoration.
Oh my God.
But
yo, we have never lit
my mom has candles in her house that are there for the entire existence of my life.
You just locked a fucking corner.
Mm-hmm. The wick is still intact. It has never been lit.
Never. They just wiped the dust off of it.
It has never been lit. So I can't even say that it's something that, okay, boom, I saw my mom burning candles and this is something that I wanted. Went away to college. We can all agree that, college was, if not one of the most stressful times of our life. It was the most fun, but it was also stressful. And I worked in the mall, and a store that shall be unnamed, I used to just rack it up in there. But come home, light my candles, write my papers. And I didn't realize that I was creating, I guess, my own self-care when I was back in college, because self-care was definitely not a term that was coined back then. But I was just creating like a zen for me. And I realized that something about like a candle being lit calmed you, zened you, gave you what you need. Graduated school, came back home. I worked retail for a little bit. Ended up quitting my job actually because some craziness happened and I just had to just be out. And I remember sitting down one time and we were in the living room talking to Kyrie, and I was like, yo, what if I started making candles? And he was like he always does. He's here for the shits. He's with the shits. He's like, I mean,
Kyrie's her husband, by the way, and we're going to talk about him. But Kyrie's her husband.
Extremely supportive. He just, you say things and you want people around you that's going to be like, you know what, I have an idea. Is it possible? Is it a thing? He was just like, yo, I think you should go for it.
The am I bugging question. You got to ask.
For sure.
You got to get a
I'm pretty sure.
check.
I'm pretty sure when you started this podcast, you probably was like, is this something I should do? But then you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I talk myself out of it. I don't need anybody else to, because everybody's going to convince me that I should. So I just talk myself out before I tell y'all. But
so that's
a different conversation.
That's basically the mode that I was at. I felt like it's something that I should do. Do I know anything about making candles? I did not, but I was just interested. I love a challenge. So it started with like doing research and like getting into the nitty gritty of it. And then trial and error was definitely a thing. It was probably the hardest thing to do because number one, I just said I didn't have a job. So it's like spending money on these resources and you're hoping that this shit works. Then it was just a matter of selecting a launch date, putting the shit into the world, making it a thing. And the rest is history for the most part.
When did you realize that like this shit was popping? Like that's really the only term I have. When did you realize this shit was popping? Like it wasn't like, yo, this is just like a candle company I'm just trying to start or I'm gonna see where it goes. Like you said, I think I'm gonna try selling candles. When did you realize like this is
a thing?
It. Like, yeah.
It's funny. Like it still blows my mind to the point like there are people who
still
I'm dead ass serious. Like there are people who trust me enough to spend their money and receive a product and like are return shoppers. Like that shit still blows my mind. And I was actually having this conversation with a friend the other day that I think that's the part of it that keeps me humble. It's like there's no, obviously, when you get write-ups, when people are talking about it, like I speak to my friends and they're like, yo, this is my favorite candle. It's still, I don't think it's hit me yet. Like I think that I'm still like, I shouldn't
be laughing at you. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing
no,
at you.
No, I know you're not laughing at me.
But it's wild that you say that.
I'm being completely honest. Like, I think that, like, things happen and I don't feel like I spend enough time sitting in, like, the celebrations or the write-ups or the things. Like, I just know that I just have to keep working. So I think, I don't know. It would be, like, the smallest moments. Like, I remember, I think, before quarantine hit, there was a customer. I couldn't mail it to her. She wanted it dropped off. She worked at a school. I actually have a video. It's so funny. I delivered her candles. Kyrie had to end up delivering her candles for me. And he took a video because her reaction was like so raw. Like she was like, yo, you don't understand. I've been trying to get these candles. I couldn't get them. And her reaction, she opened each of them. She was smelling them like so intensely. And I was like, yo, this is why you're doing this. Like you realize that when you start something, the purpose is bigger than you. And if I can make someone's day or like you're lighting a candle after you had a stressful day or lighting it because you had a great day, like being a part of those small moments with people is, I don't know. I just can't put it into words. So to answer your question, thank you for thinking that is lit. It's still.
I can't believe that you really don't. And it's funny that you say that because I bought a candle from you before we became friends.
Mm-hmm. You did.
You were friends of friends, and we had met, but we had never really like talked.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, she seems cool. I like to support off of energy. She seems cool. Friends is raving about this candle. I'm like, all right, I know I'm still a hood little broke bird from the Bronx, so I'm buying my candles from TJ Maxx.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting my Bath and Body Works candle. So you were like the first, I want to say, luxury candle I've purchased because I was like, God damn, $30.
It's $40
now. Now, but this was this was 7 years.
I was like, let me just make a disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's not that anymore. That was actually coming next, but it was like $30 in 2000 and that was what 17.
17.
Yeah, that's 2017, and I placed the order on a Wednesday. I don't even think it was a Wednesday. I placed the order on a Wednesday. I remember because I watched the video. Because I have a video of me talking about how this is how much I respected her on the day we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
I placed the order on a Wednesday. That candle was shipped out on Thursday. I received that candle on Friday. We happened to have a bunch of mutual friends. And they were like, yo, do you mind if Denequa comes? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, it's just three of us chilling, have a little picnic in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she seems cool, whatever. You brought Kingston, your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Kingston was...
Oh, yeah, I forgot Kingston was there.
Kingston definitely pulled up with us. We had Kingston, we had wine, we had a blanket. We had bodega
snacks,
sandwiches.
yeah.
Yes. And I remember asking you about Lit Brooklyn. And I was like, yo, how big is your team? And he was like, it's me. And I looked at you like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, I am the team.
You were like, it's just me. And I was like, I didn't comprehend what you were saying, because there's no way that I ordered this candle that was sold out almost immediately after I ordered it. Sold out candle. You made it, processed, or whatever you did, and shipped it out the next day with a handwritten note. And it was to me by Friday. And it wasn't like I bought it first thing Thursday. It was like middle of the day. It's Wednesday I bought it. And I was like, yo, I completely respected the work that you did, because I don't even like to get into the whole black owned company or things like that. I support companies that produce good work. I try to support black owned companies first and foremost, right. But also y'all can come for me if y'all want to. I'm not going to support something that I don't really see the effort in. I always also give people a chance. Like, right. I'm like, all right, maybe if I really like the product, I'll give you. You were so thorough, and it wasn't. I've ordered. I can't even imagine how many candles I've ordered from you over the last 5 years. But every single time it's the same thing. Every single time. People who I recommend the candle to, they have the same experience. So I can't even say, oh, it's because I'm Denequa's friend.
Right.
Like, every single time we get the same experience. So I'm proud of you for keeping that up, because you move with intentionality every single time.
Thank you.
Even, we have the candle here, y'all. Denequa actually brought me my candle. What's your favorite scent? Because before I even talk about my scent, you're tearing up, and I need you to get it together, bitch. Like, what?
I don't know. What is happening?
I don't know what's going on.
What is happening?
Take another sip.
Okay.
You need a break.
Take a sip with me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm hosting. I gotta do.
Don't have me drink by myself.
All right. I'm in sipping. So, all right. Tell me your favorite scent and why.
I don't have a favorite scent.
I feel like that's a cop out. You don't have a favorite scent?
Okay, so I do, but okay. All right.
I'm like, yo, you're lying.
All right, so my favorite scent, like, no lie, like, that's like a no. I love all of them equally, and they change on a daily basis. But like, my always scent that I go to is home.
Okay.
Yeah. Home. Okay. The notes are lemon, sugar, and vanilla, and it just feels warm to me. Like, it just is like, I don't know. It calms me. Like, I don't know if it's just something with the citrus, something with the vanilla. You really try to lie to my face. That's wild. I know.
And I wouldn't know.
I know. Look at me.
Look at you.
Calling me out.
Trashy.
I just took the L. That's crazy.
All right. Look at you with the second. Please. We're going to use that for a soundbite later, probably. Okay, so I have two favorites of yours. My favorite first scent was 1989. I don't know what about, like, the earthy, warm, the almond in it. I love that scent. Like, it actually was burning in my house last night.
It's reminiscent of, it reminds me of, I feel like everyone had this experience with, like, their grandparents or, like, their mothers.
Yes.
It's like, it's a cookie. It's like, it reminds me of a cookie that, I don't know the name. I gotta ask my mom the brand of the cookie, but it smells like that.
It does smell. I know what you're talking about. It smells like that cookie, but also my grandmother used to put sweet almond oil in our grease because she didn't like the smell of Dax. Shout out to the West Indians, because y'all know they love a Dax. I know what do Americans use? Blue Magic? Is that what? Yeah, the Dax was the West Indian Blue Magic, for those who don't know. She used to put sweet almond oil in that. So for me, that reminds me of that, even nostalgic. Though I know nobody else's Dax smell like that. But my second favorite scent, and you better not cry over this, because is Willow. Willow is named after your dad. And I love it because my dad passed away. So it's something about the way this scent is. And I don't know, like, what my dad smelled like. For context, my dad passed away. My mom was pregnant with me. So I don't know what my dad smells like. I don't know any of those things. But something about burning it always makes me feel like he's there. So this is a very special candle to me. So when you brought it for me, I'm like, I have like 4 of these at home, because every time you sell them, I buy as much as I can. Like, you are going to cry.
I'm not. I think it's also too, like, when we did first initially meet in the park, that was something that we originally bonded over. It was like the most random thing. So that was like our first real, like, sit down and get to know each other. Like, if you linking up with somebody in a park, there's wine, we have snacks, we're bound to, like, just shoot the shit and just talk about whatever. So it was the weirdest thing, because if we met in 2017,
we wouldn't have.
My dad had just passed away that year prior. So
Yeah.
the fact that we both had dads who passed away from an aneurysm.
The same exact thing.
Like, it was just mind-boggling. And it was just like, because I was just like,
you don't hear about that often.
What the hell? Like, it was the most random thing.
I think other than your dad, I think I've only heard one other person I only know one other person who's passed away from an aneurysm. So, like, it just seems like such a rare occurrence. So, like, for us to...
It was very serendipitous. Like, It was just like, it was meant to be, meant to happen. Because, sometimes you can meet people in passing, but you need that moment where you guys actually get a chance to, like...
I joke around and I say, I think my dad not died for this, but I feel like when he died, he was like, let me stay next to this bitch because she be bugging the fuck out. And, like, I feel like he places me in certain places. So, like, I truly believe, like, my dad put us in that place.
I agree.
To be like, here's somebody else going through it. Like, y'all are going to be friends. And I, honestly, I don't know if I thought we were going to be as good of friends as we are.
Because, sometimes you meet up with people and you're just like, okay, boom, when I see you, I see you. But I don't know. You just have this... very infectious nature about yourself where it's like you just bring joy to people, like even if you bring it in a form of a joke or whatever the case may be, but you just make people feel comfortable, and that's not a skill that many people have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I appreciate that. This is not about me, so I'm
just saying,
okay,
this girl is crazy.
No, because you will do this, so this is about you.
Okay.
And now I know we're on the topic, and I don't know actually if this is going to be your answer.
Okay.
But what do you think, like, was that the most challenging thing for you, like, in your life? Do you think that was your dad passing? Was that the most challenging thing you had to overcome?
It was one of the most.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I've ever said this out loud, like, ever. I didn't cry at my dad's funeral, and I think, like, my grieving process is still, like, in motion to the point. Like, I think everything surrounding my dad's death was very fucking chaotic. And I think I was trying to hold on to the moments that were, there they goes. Once one falls, it's waterfall. Nah.
It's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop.
I'm telling you.
It's okay.
But... Jesus Christ, Siobhan.
You literally knew what the name of the podcast was.
I know, but
here comes Ty to the rescue. Thank you, Ty. Let me get one too, just in case, because she be.
I'm
done.
Emotional. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Good. There was just a lot of chaos surrounding his death, and I think that I was more so focused on surviving.
That's so real. Go ahead.
I don't know if people probably do speak about it, but I think that when I say challenging, okay, boom, I had to deal with my dad's death, and it was that moment where I had to use the strength to be the best version of myself. So my dad dying actually was the motivation behind me going hard, and I feel like he died in 2016, and nothing else mattered. It was just more so me focusing on the work ahead of me. So to answer your previous question, when do you feel like you made it big? It's like when you're dealing with grief or you're dealing with trauma, you're not really cognizant of what the fuck is happening presently, because I was so conditioned to not dealing with what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You're always thinking about the next thing.
That's
to a certain degree. So it was one of the most challenging things that I've ever had to deal with. I'm still dealing with it because it's like...
That was actually going to be my next question.
None of it seems real to me still. Like, I just feel like I know my dad is not here, and I try my best to use the things that he taught me to kind of keep him here, if that makes sense. But it's still one of the most challenging. So I have not dealt with it, if that makes...
Okay, you're about to make me cry. I'm going to hold it. We're going to hold it down.
Okay.
But I think that's... You know what's funny? You're saying this, and this is not about me.
Okay.
But you saying this... Now I'm going to be in therapy talking about this shit next week. But you saying, like, when you deal with trauma and grief, you're really not cognizant of the things around you.
No, you're not.
It's... You saying that is like... damn, like a lot of times y'all come up to me and y'all like, you don't realize how you do this or you don't realize how you do that. And I'm like, damn, is it because I feel like I'm always in a constant state of grief? Like the same thing with my dad. Like didn't meet him. I'm going to be 38 in a week and a half. Jesus Christ, even saying that's wild. But I'm going to be 38 in a week and a half. So he's been gone 38 years. Never met him. But it feels like everything I do is with this lingering in the back of your mind. So I can't imagine how it is when you've had this person for so long and then it's only been 5 years versus 38.
Yeah.
So.
But there's also, I also want to put out a disclaimer too. So like, granted, me and my dad didn't always have the greatest relationship. And what I mean by that is like, you know, you grow up with Caribbean parents. My dad was a workaholic. So like just a premise of what he did. He had a business, a shipping company, Williams Caribbean Shipping for years. And
he shipped barrel.
So if you're Caribbean, you know about the barrels being shipped.
Not the barrels. God, I didn't know that he shipped barrels. You are very West Indian. My bad.
OD. But with that said, like he was a workaholic. Like he worked from morning till night and was very much, you know, as a child, you're seeing your parents work this hard and you want them to spend time with you, or you know what I'm saying? But as an adult looking back, as a business owner, like I do see like how taxing or challenging it could be, you know what I'm saying? But like because that was the situation, he didn't necessarily make time to be as present or as active as I would have loved him to be. And a year before he passed away, I remember having a conversation with him when I was starting my business. And that's where our relationship got closer. And I feel like everything, you know, God is in all the details. You know what I'm saying? Because if I didn't have that conversation, or if I didn't have those moments, I probably would have had a lot of resentment with him dying. I wouldn't have had the closure that I felt like, you know, that I needed. I probably would have taken it a lot harder. But it's just you
had a good year, a year of lessons to take with you.
An amazing year. Like, you know, I handled it with grace. I was able to be a little bit more understanding, you know, like even though I was the person who lacked emotional support or mental support or whatever you want to call it, it kind of made me appreciate my mom for sure a lot more. Because I think mothers also don't get enough credit for holding it together when the other parent is not necessarily standing 10 toes down at all times. So it made me appreciate my mom a lot more and knowing the sacrifices she put in. But it also made me look at my dad like, yo, you're carrying your entire family on your back off of a dream that you set out for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just makes you look at life differently. And especially being an adult, I don't have children yet, but it just makes me know the type of parent that I want my kids to know that I am. Like, I want to be a hard worker. I want them to know me for being a hard worker, but I also want to make sure that I carve out time to be there for them emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you had that moment, though, because, again, I feel like you didn't even have to give me the chance to, like, ask, what did you learn from this? Because you said the lesson was, like, that year that you had with him, that moment that, you know, it brought no resentment. And then you also learned, like, the person that you wanted to be from that. So you've mentioned, like, how your mom, and she held it down and things like that. And, you know, we talked about Kyrie earlier. Kyrie is your husband. I love Kyrie. You know, I'm a Kyrie stan.
That is for damn sure.
Kyrie can't do no bad in my eyes.
I'm telling you.
Get that man the big fish tank. Whatever. If you follow her, you get the reference.
I'm telling you. Siobhan, the first time Siobhan met Kyrie, actually, I don't know if you remember.
I don't either, but that's my nigga.
I'm going to tell you, we were at a brownies party, and you never met him. And
I ran up on that nigga. She
ran up on him in the corner. She was like, Kyrie!
That nigga was probably scared.
And he was like...
Yeah, he was scared.
But it was from that moment that Kyrie knew that Siobhan was the president of the Kyrie.
The president, the founding member, the alpha chapter, okay? Kyrie. So I say that because you and Kyrie love each other very intentionally. I think that's very clear through social media. It's very clear through social media, but I know y'all personally, so I'm saying social media not as the only indicator, because I don't think social media is an indicator of a good relationship, because we all know.
Okay. That's a whole.
That's a whole different.
Okay.
But you and Kyrie love each other very intentionally. And I know that we see the good and I see the good, but it's marriage. Y'all been together, what, 10 years? 11, 12?
In total? 14 years.
Yeah, because it was college. Damn. My math be off. Y'all have been together 14 years. In this type of like world.
Madness.
I can't even keep a nigga around for 14 weeks without hating him. So like that's y'all are so intentional. And I feel like a lot of times you see people be like, I need somebody. If I'm an entrepreneur, I need an entrepreneur. Kyrie works a 9 to 5. He works for a company. I'm saying 9 to 5, but he works for a company. How does that work? Like, I want to know how y'all stay intentional in this space when you have the moments that we're in, like the generation we're in. Nobody even is excited to post they nigga. I'm saying nigga, it's my podcast. Excited to post their nigga. Nobody is. No, everybody's always nervous that they're gonna get embarrassed and shit like that. Like, but you and Kyrie love each other out the fuck loud, and I think it's because y'all water signs, but also, whatever. I want to know how y'all keep each other grounded, and how y'all support each other.
That's a great question.
This is more so for me than the fucking people listening.
I'm gonna keep it a sec. So when we first started dating, we were in college, and I was not looking for a relationship. I'm gonna be real. He wasn't looking for a relationship. I feel
like I knew this story, yes, but yes.
We had just both got out of whatever we were in, because I don't even know what that is anymore. Does it even matter?
Doesn't matter. Fuck whatever that was before.
Hello.
Because if we stopped dating, we never dated. But
okay. But I hate us.
Because the producers walked out, so I can say whatever I want. Right. Before Sean looking at me in the corner.
With that said, we were very. I love that you use the word intentional, because when we started dating, we didn't have anyone that we wanted our relationship to be like, and I love that for the both of us. Like there was no couple that we were like, oh, we were never like that. Like
you never had couple goals. I hate that, by the way. But you never had couple goals.
We set our own foundation, and when you set your own foundation, and there's like you make the rules, and you're not literally abiding by anything, I think you're free to do whatever you want to do in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We're making our own way. And there's boundaries put in place. Like I feel like we have arguments. I feel like what relationship does not have an argument, right? But we respect each other, and there's just something about knowing that somebody does not play about you that takes things to another level.
Okay.
And I always tell people, I hear what you're saying, but I see how you come in. You feel me? And his words match his actions for me, and it's the same thing with me. So yeah, I don't know. I think people I feel like I'm watching a rom-com as you talk. I can't stand you. People just go into it with too much things. You know what I'm saying? Like just show up as who you are. Like if you go in there with a mask on, eventually the mask has to come off, and you save your time, that person's time, by just being who you are. And I love Kyrie like dearly, and it's also because he's seen me at my ugliest in terms of like the things that I had to go through. And he's always just been in my corner. He's not afraid to tell me when I'm wrong, which is what I love. I don't have a yes man. He doesn't have a yes man. I'm gonna tell you when you wildin'. You feel me? And we just both respect each other. But I will say this one bit of advice that he ever gave me when we got into an argument, and I think I say this a lot, is 3 words that are almost as important as I love you. Drop your ego. When you're in a relationship.
I've never heard you say this.
Kyrie, I don't even know what we were arguing about. Some dumb shit, right? And I'm going back and forth, and he's just like, are you done? And I'm just like,
see, this is why I'm single.
Am I done?
Why would you ask me that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you looking for the argument to continue? But nah, he was just like, yo, drop your ego. And I was like, you don't even realize at that point in time, why are you having an ego with somebody you love? Why are you having an ego? Why is your ego present? You know what I'm saying? You drop your ego, you realize, okay, boom, this person is not coming at me because they hate me. They're telling me these things out of love. And I don't know, I always take that with me. And he ain't going nowhere. Like, I love him dearly, and I think I'm also not afraid to let people know I'm loving out loud, because I think that's also a thing.
No, I think that's the thing that is like,
we live in a society where Black men do not get that.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And every moment I'm gonna also let you know that you're appreciated, that I see you. You're not forgotten. What you're doing is important. Your impact is phenomenal. And I don't know. I just think that reminders need to be there, because Black women are being reminded all over.
Mm-hmm. We got the Black girl magic.
We see all these things.
So you know what's funny? Because you know the girls you know how the girls like to tussle. Like,
oh, God.
I always say that I wish I'm very clear about, I'm love up on my male friends. I've said it with the old podcast I had, Same Energy. I'm like, anyway, Same Energy, had it. I have cried on that podcast because I'm like, I love my male friends so much. Mm-hmm. And I just know that men are in a space in which I'm not diminishing anything that Black women get. Mm-hmm. I think we deserve all the things.
I agree.
Please give them to me. Soft life, all those, all the shit that you do on Instagram, I want and I deserve.
I want it all.
But I think that one of the reasons, like, I really appreciate you and Kyrie's relationship is because you give it back. You see women talk about, like, you see all the flowers, you see all he did this to me, my man, what he did for me. Mm-hmm. And I say, when people are in relationships, the test about how they're going to last is how they talk about each other. Mm-hmm. You talk about how you love Kyrie for who he is, not for what he does for you.
That's a fact.
When you hear on, like, Instagram, when people talking why you love her or why you love him, and you talk about everything they do for you versus everything they are, that's when I'll be like,
the difference is apparent.
Yeah. And you'll talk about how Kyrie, let me tell you, I don't think I've ever seen Denequa drive. Denequa don't take a trade. Denequa don't drive.
I drive. He will. Okay, what she's referring to is
Kyrie
girls'
pick
night.
her up everywhere.
He definitely will drop me off, and he will definitely pick me up. That's a fact. But
and
I
they live
drive.
in Brooklyn, and he will drive to Manhattan, drop you off, go do whatever, and come back and get you, because he wants to make sure you are safe.
That's a fact.
He will come out. He will hug us to make sure we're good.
That's a fact.
Like, Kyrie don't play about you.
That's a fact. And I love that. I love that for me.
And I love that for you too. I be like, look at this thing. I gotta pick hey, Kyrie. I get to say hi to my mans too. That's
hello.
So he does all that, but you clearly support him back. So I love that for y'all. And yeah, I think that this is not what the podcast is about. It's not a relationship podcast. I never want to do a relationship podcast. I don't even think I got it in me, because most likely I'm gonna end everything with fuck these niggas. But I'm done.
Niggas. I am done.
I love niggas. I do love niggas, but you gotta be petty sometimes. But I wanted to highlight that because I don't think that we get to see it often.
I appreciate you for that, because I think that it is important. But
yes,
it also is like, I just want people to just walk in their truth and just not be afraid to, like, celebrate people who deserve to be celebrated. It also goes back to, I'm happy that you did say that I celebrate him for the things that he. What did you say? I'm gonna use that.
You celebrate.
I'm gonna use that in an argument. I'm gonna use that in an argument.
Right.
I'm joking.
Not me giving you ammo for my nigga. Like,
I'm kidding.
No, but I said you celebrate him for the person he is and not what he does for you.
Because that's what it's about. I think, what did Bob Marley say? Something about the riches. When you have the riches in the world, things don't make you rich. Like, I feel like how people make you feel, and I want to leave people better than how I found them. And sometimes women get married. They always say the wedding is just about the women, this, that, and the third. You saw when we got married.
First of all, I embarrassed y'all at y'all wedding.
You did, but it was the content that I didn't know we needed.
Siobhan, don't invite me to your wedding if you don't want to be embarrassed. If your parents,
I hope.
If your parents are conservative,
you know what? I hope we can edit that clip into this.
Do not give the producer no ideas about what we're gonna edit into.
I'm gonna let you guys know right now.
Not about me.
We got married at our favorite. Nothing was traditional. Like, we got married October 10th, and I decided we were gonna get married the month before.
You did.
I sent out the invites. I gave people 3 weeks.
You sent me a text and said,
"Oh yeah, I sent you a text."
You sent me a text and said, "Are you free October 10th?" Emoji eye, and I said,
Oh yeah, I did do
and
that.
I knew immediately it was y'all getting
what
married.
kind of ratchet? That's really some crazy ass shit.
Yo, I rearranged a trip to make sure I did not miss that wedding.
Yes, we ended up getting married at our favorite restaurant. It's no longer here. We were the only ones to ever get married at that establishment. But they closed down before the pandemic. It was our favorite Thai restaurant. I asked the owner. We became really cool with the owner, and she was like, "Yeah, sure." We got married earlier that morning. Went to take out photos. We had the reception. I got a call from my mother-in-law. She was like, "Yo, there's a girl in here with a blonde fro, and I think this is her bashment party." I knew it was Siobhan off rip. I'm gonna
stop being embarrassing for 30
You're
minutes.
not, but I love it for you though. You literally set the theme because she was like, nobody's really like, you set. I love you for that. You are gonna be yourself all the time, and I think that's what people appreciate about you.
I want to be a little bit better.
It's on brand. No, please don't change.
Okay.
Please don't change.
All right.
It's on brand.
I need to amend a few things. I'll figure it out. So I'm gonna ask you 2 more questions, and we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay.
Do you think you're successful?
What are you doing right now?
Do you think you're successful?
Who gave you these questions, Siobhan?
I literally used to program.
I know, and that's the problem.
So this is.
Do I think I'm successful? Wow. Okay. That's a loaded question. I do think I'm successful.
I was like, I don't think it's that loaded. It's yes or no.
But it also depends. I don't mean successful in terms of.
Do you think?
Hear me out. I'm answering you. Right. I think I'm successful, not in the way that success is weighted in the world. Mm-hmm. The things that I do, the accomplishments that I have, that is not what makes me. Mm-hmm. I'm successful, I feel like, because I'm unafraid to be myself. That's what makes me successful.
All right. So you have 2 more questions. Don't think you dodged the R&B question.
I thought I did.
No,
okay.
You didn't. I made sure I paid attention. So answer the R&B question, and I'm going to close out with the last question.
R&B question was, what are my 3 top?
Your 3 top R&B albums of your lifetime since you were born.
I'm going to have to go. I don't know the name of this album.
So how was it your favorite? Go ahead. I'm going to let you have it. Go ahead.
Okay, so Mary J. Blige, Share My World.
Mm-hmm.
Toni Braxton. What is the name is that a self-proclaimed album?
Toni,
where she had the short haircut.
Yes,
it's
and it's like the
yes.
This is about to date me when she has the sepia filter with Toni written in red. Why do I remember sepia filter? Niggas loved sepia back in the day. But go ahead.
It's Toni, Mary J. Blige, and my other R&B album would have to be, wow. It would have to be Brownstone.
Brownstone.
I know.
Wow.
I know. It would have to be
I
Brownstone.
never thought I would hear a nigga say Brownstone.
It would have to be
Brownstone.
Brownstone. You can still put that shit on right now, and it still hits.
Okay, that's actually, those are great answers, and you're probably the only person I will accept the one album that I expect. I feel like I should. I know Ron is gonna say it anyway. So but Confessions, I feel like.
Oh yes, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't count though. You can't put that.
Why the fuck doesn't Confessions?
But you can't put that in the top 3. That stands on its own. You can't say what are your top 3 favorite. You got it. That stands by itself.
It should be in your top 3.
It's in a top 1. It doesn't. There's no. Confessions is in its own league.
I feel okay. I will accept that answer.
It's in its own league. It's in its own league.
I will accept that answer.
I can't say Confessions and then list other albums with it.
If I go on a date and a nigga says that Confessions is not in his top 3 albums, then I don't think I will. This sounds very petty, but I don't think I'll date him much longer afterward. I have to know reasoning.
That's problematic, but go ahead.
I mean, we've talked about this. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. The last question. Mm-hmm. What are you most proud of yourself?
The way that I handle myself with the situations that were meant to break me. My resilience. My resilience makes me the most proud.
All right.
It shows my growth.
It does. All right, Denequa, thank you so much. First episode of this. Wow. I don't even know what to say, but I really appreciate you.
You did that.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for making space. What you going to say?
Before you wrap this podcast up, I'm going to give you your flowers because you deserve them. I just want you to know. Can you look me in my eyes when I'm talking to you?
Because I don't want to cry. Go ahead.
I shed tears.
I said I don't want to cry. You didn't set that intention at the beginning.
That's crazy.
You should have.
This is a safe space, Siobhan.
I'm listening.
I'll make you take this L. So, I'm gonna give you your flowers because I do, like you said earlier, I do feel like that we were meant to be in each other's lives. And I'm very proud of you. I mean, I will never tire of telling you how proud I am of you, because you are.
I am holding it in. Go ahead.
It's fine. You are truly inspiring. And what I mean by that is that you are not afraid to take risks. You're not afraid to bet on yourself. You show up as your true self. You are an amazing friend. Like, I admire you and I love you so much. I am dead ass serious. Like,
Okay. I am.
Our FaceTime calls are like, when we do talk, it is the highlight of my day. And I know that you love to use humor as a defense mechanism, right? I know you do. But at the same time, accept your flowers, take them. And I just want nothing but the best of things. They will happen for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I am proud of you again.
Thank you so much. I really stopped myself from making a joke just now.
I know you did.
So I want you to be proud of me for that as well. Add that into being proud of you. Okay. So we're wrapping this now before I start rolling.
We are.
I want people to know where they can follow you.
Okay. Oh, right now. Oh, sorry. Okay. My bad. Do I look here? Yes. Okay. So you can follow me on Lit Brooklyn, LITBKLYN. And my personal page is DWIL, DWIL. That is on Instagram, Twitter, and that's it.
You use Twitter?
I gotta start back.
I mean, you know I don't care no more. So
my old Twitter, I gotta get it back. It used to be called Model Miss BK. Don't ask.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for being the first episode.
Yes.
And yeah,
cheers.